Rogers is an autistic boy. He's 15 years old. He's been missing from Hendersonville, Tennessee. And everybody has been looking for him. Everybody. He is 5 foot 5 inches tall. He weighs 120 pounds. Sandy blonde hair, and he wears glasses. And again, there is no footprint of him whatsoever.
You think back, and there might have been a reason he was possibly upset or something outside that could have enticed him to go outside. Was there anything that came to mind?
We've been combing over that day and even the weeks before he left, and I hadn't been able to figure it out. That morning he was laughing, he was joking. Everyone we were around that day agreed that he seemed like he was in a good mood. He was behaving.
This boy, I've done told y'all, reminds me of my son that had autism, that is my third son. And he disappeared right down the road from part of where my family lives. And I take all of these cases serious. I am not playing about anything right now.
The original thinking was that Sebastian Rogers left home on his own, but the fact that he disappeared without a trace now has authorities looking into the very real possibility of foul play.
I'm not trying to accuse them of anything. I'm trying to tell you how suspicious they are now becoming. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, H. Davis. Hello there. And Grace Paris, good to see you. Hindsight. Hello, hello, lovely. It's good to see everybody. Mama Risa, hello. Chemistry Queen. Hello, hello. Sharon, hello. And Kiki, True Crime. That was a great live earlier, Kiki. Good live, good live. You're doing a good job, girl. Doing a good job. And let's see, who do we have here? Stephanie G. Hello, hello. So hello, everybody. Welcome in. Welcome in on this beautiful May 1st, Thursday, May 1st, 2025. Right? Wow. Can't believe the time is just getting on by. Next month, we'll be saying 6 more months and this year will be over. We sure will. 6 more months and this whole entire year will be over. I don't know where the time goes. I really don't. But hello, everyone. Happy May 1st. I hope it's been happy for you so far. May celebrates spring and all the beautiful things. All the beautiful things that come with it. It's also Mental Health Month. It's also National Foster Care Month. Just saying. It's also National Strawberry Month. Who likes strawberries in here? I like strawberries. I don't like them all the time, but I do like strawberries. Strawberries is yummy. We can start making strawberry shortcakes, and if you know how, take that churn outside. See, I don't know how, and make some fresh homemade strawberry ice cream. Hey, Ginger Snap, welcome in, welcome in. You have a Twinkie pie recipe with strawberries. Sounds good. Sounds good. They always have a strawberry festival down here on further south. I'd like to go to it this time. I always miss it, but I wouldn't mind going to it this time. So, hey, little red O. Hey, hey, hey. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome in, everybody. Everybody, if you can, just hit the thumbs up button for me. Also, Mother's Day is the second Sunday of May. I believe it is. That's one that'll kind of be hard for me. Everything's still so raw, and it'll be the first year without my mom. That's kind of the only downfall to May this year. But other than that, May is a beautiful month. So I know those of you that don't have your mothers, I kind of know how you feel this year. I understand. But all of you that are moms, make sure that you spend time with your children and make memories for them. All kids love their mom, and no matter what, that is what is important, no matter how old they are, right? Today is National Day of Prayer. Yes, and we need to pray for a lot of people. Still send prayers out for Millie and her brother. I know they did bring her brother's, can't even think the word, the ventilator. They brought him down a little bit this morning. They were going to try to bring him down a little bit more this afternoon. So far, he did good. And that is the thing she's hoping for. Just hope it keeps on going that way. She needs many prayers. Prayers for everybody. Again, Tiffany's son, Christine, our sweet lady Q. She's going to have surgery. Miss Ann hadn't been in here in a long time, but I heard from her the other day, and she's still having problems getting her surgery and stuff. I mean, there's a lot of people that I've left out lately. Didn't mean to, but a lot of people need prayers. Pray for those people. Absolutely pray for those people. Everybody needs prayers. So today is National Prayer Day. Okay. So hello to everybody coming in. I hope everybody is doing okay and had a beautiful day. Today was kind of here. Well, you could tell it was Florida. It was kind of cloudy and sunny. You know, you get those days where you kind of don't know if it's going to rain or shine. It might be raining on one side of the street and shining on the other. Just saying. Hey, YouTuber, welcome in. So what's going on new? Anything good with y'all? Anything good or positive today or anything like that? You had rain? I like rain. I like rain if I don't have to go anywhere. Let me just tell you that. I do like rain if I don't have to go anywhere. I like sitting outside if it's raining on the porch. Hello, Domino's 40C. Hello. So, kids been swimming 2 days straight. Yep. I haven't been on much, and still send prayers to Miss Grace. I know you haven't. You've been trying to get all that done. That's got to be hard on you. That's got to be hard. So yeah, hindsight. Keep up the great work. Everybody's doing a good job. Everybody's doing a good job that I see. Everybody really cares about Sebastian. But if we'll just keep smiling because life is beautiful and there's a lot to smile about, right? You woke up today. So you woke up today, that's something to smile about, right? That's what I say. That's absolutely what I say. I do want to talk about this a minute. Yes, my heart breaks for them, Grace, Sebastian, Monkey, and Summer. All the kids missing. Yep, keep smiling. That's right. Keep smiling. Keep shining. Keep smiling. What I wanted to talk about for a minute was, focus on the child. He needs that more than we need this drama. I did want to kind of address this though, and I don't think my thumbnail fit all the way up there, but it don't matter really about a stupid thumbnail. I noticed this lately that a lot of people were, and I even seen somebody ask Chris the other day, was it a hoax? And somebody last night brought it into my attention. I didn't see it, but it doesn't matter. Hey, Lolo, that they were talking about this is a hoax and something about when he gets 18, he'll come back, we're all fools, something to that nature. Hey, Cinderella. And I've been kind of here lately seeing and hearing some things, just in passing. Excuse me, just in passing. So I thought, well, I'll just kind of address this today in my live. Angel of Light, hello, and thank you everybody for being here. And I just wanted to talk about it. Smiley does what Smiley wants to do, so that's what I'm going to do today. Especially since it's come up. But I'll say this. I will say this. If this is a hoax, it's a hell of a hoax. That's all I got to say about it. No, that ain't all I got to say about it, but that's what I'm going to say right there. If it's a hoax, it's a hell of a hoax. Now let me get a Smiley and Grace, thanks a lot. We're going to get to the meat and potatoes of it in a minute. Let me get a drink of my coffee. But in my opinion, let me just say my opinion. This is my opinion and my opinion alone. No, Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers is very much missing. No hoax. Right, YouTuber. No hoax, in my opinion. Yeah, I got to have coffee all day too, and night. It don't bother me. In my opinion, it's no hoax. Sebastian, but it is a valid question. Hey, Heather. So you can't blame others for wondering and asking or even speaking it. That is their opinion, and they have their right to that opinion, but we're going to talk about it. Hey, Pamela. Hey, Pamela. Welcome. So, Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers is very much missing. And this is a very, very serious and ongoing missing persons case, first of all. And the police, yeah, they did, YouTuber. And I want to tell you something. When I first come on this and I was watching, I remember exactly whose I asked it in. I asked it in Benny Keys but before I was ever even known on YouTube. I was just watching, learning. I hadn't even did a live or the first thing. And the first thing I said was, do you think this is a hoax? I said that. And he said, no, madam, like he always does. He said, please don't say that again. I'm like, all right. But I sure did think it. And then who was the very one on Summers for all those years? Not monetized, not anything, but that's what I thought. I mean, it's valid. These people have a valid reason for thinking it or asking it, and that's okay. I can't be mad at them for doing that. Hell, I did the same thing. But in this case, no, that thought's never crossed my mind. But let's just carry on, okay? Because I'm going to tell you, this is very much a missing and serious ongoing case for Sebastian Rogers. And the most important thing is the police definitely do not consider this a hoax. Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers was 15 years old at the time he went missing from his Hendersonville home on February 25th and was last seen by his mother, Katie Lynn Proudfoot, on the 25th, as she stated many times. And so they have him also on camera with her, again, as we know, at the Texas Roadhouse. And she says she last saw him and heard him in her home. Stories change many times. He has autism, and as we're told, he's very high-functioning autism. But please do not consider this a hoax, because I'm going to tell you why. C-Star, hey, let's see. She said, I did think at one time maybe they put him somewhere, a school, a rehab, a home, or something. Right. I can understand that. So many people did. So many people I'm close to still think that to this day. They still do. Ginger Snap, let me see what you said. Just left the hospital. My mom got dog bit. Oh, my God. I'm sorry. Left a big puncture wound in her hand. Red streaks began spreading up her arm with swelling. They gave her IVs and antibiotics for 2 days. She's improving now. Oh, yeah, watch that. Please watch that. Oh, Lord, honey. I'm so sorry. Let us know how she's doing. Many prayers, many prayers. But please don't consider this because, number one, a hoax, because Sumner County Sheriff's Office issued not only a missing persons report, but they activated the Amber Alert for Sebastian, right? That law enforcement also brought in other agencies, including the FBI, TBI. Y'all don't forget, military was brought in, Secret Service. You got drones, helicopters. You even got a judge to sign off. What about the judge signed off on a warrant to search the landfill? All of these people are not in on no hoax. I'm sorry to tell you. I'm sorry. But anyway, FBI, they also put up a $50,000 reward, something they don't do very often. They don't. Welcome, everybody coming in. Hello, hello. And let's face it, they usually do that when it is serious, and it's a serious case such as Sebastian. And in my opinion, it may be because he or any person that the FBI gets involved with, you know, because it carries over state lines, even though I think Sebastian is close to home. But again, that's just me, my thoughts, just me. Yeah, keeping the faith. God, I can't even speak. Keeping the faith, Mama Risa. Absolutely. Also, no matter what, it's been over a year. Hey, Mike. Child Find of America. Google is a great source, facts and stats. 5 reasons why a parent may want a child gone is interesting if this is the case in the situation. I'll definitely look at that. I'll definitely look at it. But also, no matter what, it's been over a year, 14 months, going into 15 months. And you've heard them say, even though we may not be happy with them, this case does remain active. We haven't heard them come out and say this is a cold case. In fact, we haven't heard them come out and say anything. Let's get honest about it. But it is an active case, and it's being worked, and they are following up on all leads and all of that. Maybe it'll be time for Smiley to call the TBI again and get some information on their standpoint of how this case is being handled again. Are they still looking into all leads? I don't know. Maybe it's time for me to make a phone call again. Hey, Lorraine Law and Debbie W. and Crystal Pistol and everybody coming in, Whispering Winds. Hello, hello, hello. They look and they analyze all the evidence, if there is any evidence. And in my opinion, this is just my opinion, but I think there is evidence, but they don't owe us anything to let us know if there's any evidence, right? But I believe from what I know or have heard from the very beginning, they do have evidence. Hey, VA and everybody coming in, Robin in, welcome. And I think, in my opinion, and this is just me again, I think they're saving it for the integrity of this investigation. Now, whatever this investigation turns out to be, I think they're saving it and holding it close to the vest. Now, I have to say it like this because this is what I'm talking about today. Again, I don't feel there's no hoax. My title says, no, it's not a hoax, but some still question. So whatever the investigation turns up, and even if that investigation should turn out to be a hoax, and I'm going to say it like this, in his mother or anyone else close to him's name, so they can and will prosecute. That's how I'm going to say that. Because first of all, I still stand by Sebastian Rogers did not want to leave his home, had no intentions of leaving his home. In my opinion, had every intention of, after that overwhelming day, going home and going to bed. Yep, and they have one chance at this, no matter what the outcome is, whether it's foul play, runaway, hoax, no matter what it is, to get it right. So they can prosecute, and whoever's involved don't walk. That's my opinion. But they all three parents have hired private investigators. There's no credible, what the hell's wrong with me? I can't talk. No credible evidence or any reason whatsoever to think this is a hoax. At least not one that law enforcement is in on, because that would be not true. Not one, in my opinion, that Sebastian is in on, because in my opinion, that would be not true. Now, if law enforcement, we're going to get to some meat and potatoes here. If law enforcement did ever find out there was a hoax, and anyone responsible for a hoax or leading us and them and anyone to believe that, Sebastian was gone and he was put somewhere, which I believe they would find if he was somewhere, but that's just me, or something like that, then anyone responsible for that, I don't care who they are, they're going to face serious, severe legal consequences, and they would be in deep shit, period. I don't know if it would be deeper than they would be if they just come clean and told what actually did happen to Sebastian, but they would be in some deep shit. Hey, Wild Child for Life. Hello, hello, hello. So either way, they might as well talk, because somebody knows, in my opinion, what happened to Sebastian. It's not going to go well for those who know unless they go ahead and come clean. I'm not accusing anybody. I'm just saying. Now, The specific charges would depend on the hoax, the resources wasted. Here, in this case right here, this is a high profile. Again, as I spoke earlier, U.S. Marshals has come in, military's come in. These are people's come in that I don't either, Mike. I've done said that. But people keep writing it in my chat. They've asked people, so I'm addressing it today. But I'm saying, if it was, what could they charge them with? Wasted resources, number one. Hey, everybody, because this is a huge case. People don't get the military in. They don't get the Secret Service in. They don't get all this. So if somebody did do something like that, they were not very wise to begin with. And they can get charged with the harm that they caused. Also filing a false report, which you might think that's petty. And it is compared to everything else, but depending on what state, and I don't know what Tennessee is, I didn't look that up. Would that be a misdemeanor or a felony? I don't know what filing a false report is, because I haven't filed no false reports, and I sure haven't as hell filed one in Tennessee. But it's a waste of resources and putting others in danger while wasting resources. Also, it's an obstruction of justice, especially if it was intended to hinder. This might still affect some anyway, especially if it was intended to hinder the real investigation, or a hoax was to mislead any law enforcement. Hold on, my dog's starting again. Sorry, any law enforcement, if they, or anybody else, if they were trying to mislead in an investigation, it could be obstruction of justice. I feel like personally, there's already a lot of that going on here on these YouTube streets, but that's just me. One day, everybody's not going to be able to get away with that, obstructing justice. Anyone involved, anyone could face and be charged with obstruction of justice. Anyone. And they carry big penalties for that, such and huge fines along with it as well. I mean, making false statements to law enforcement, knowingly providing false information that can, and you add all these together, it all turns federal. And then we can get conspiracy. You don't believe me? Don't take my word for it. It's fine. It's fine. Conspiracy. If multiple people was involved in a hoax, they could face conspiracy charges. They could face conspiracy charges. Then there is good old fraud. Good old fraud. Mail fraud, wire fraud. If it were a hoax, using any mail or any electronic devices, whether it be phone, computer, anything like that. Any device, I say, for communications. Oh, Vic, thank you for your super sticker. Thank you. Woo, woo. Thank you. I'm trying not to blow y'all's ears out today. Thank you for that. It's okay, Carson. You think so too? You've been taking a break from this drama? Okay. And everybody has a right to feel the way that they want. It's interesting to see what everybody thinks, honestly. But anyway, if it were a hoax, using any of those devices and stuff, just so you know. Oh, thank you, Tori. Thank you. Tori, I love you so much. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for being here, and thank you for your support for 4 months. Putting up with me for 4 months is that's a lot. I'm just saying. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, and can turn into trafficking. And we're just talking about what could happen. It is, Jasper. It is overwhelming. Absolutely. And it's been a little much here lately. But okay, so this is important because I don't think this could pertain just to a hoax. I think it could pertain to anything. And that was where I was talking about the conspiracy. I mean, look, why do I say that? Well, hell, we've already had these lawsuits, right? With Rico and this, that, and the other. And hell, you never know when conspiracy is going to come up. So just let me tell you what the charges are for that. Any device, communications, any electronic devices, anything like that, that any individuals defrauded or used any organizations in any way based on the false disappearance of Sebastian become federal fraud. And it could apply to a very, very long prison sentence. Not jail, prison. And a huge fine on top of that. Also, don't forget abuse of the 911 system. And this is where I go, Abuse of a 911 system, making a false emergency call with any charges related to this case of misuse of emergency services could be filed. Which, on one hand, yeah, Miss Grace, I know Chango from Summer Wells. I have communication with Chango. I'll speak with Chango in a bit if I need to. Chango knows how to get in touch with me too. I'll look at it in a minute. You did contact Seth? But it got me thinking about the 911 calls. And it got me to thinking, yep, Mohawk took the words right out of my mouth. Took the words right out of my mouth. Thank you. Hey, Sheila. Because, see, I also think this is a pre-planned event, no matter if it's foul play or not. I think it's pre-planned. I think it's shitty if it's foul play and it was pre-planned, but I think it's pre-planned. Thank you, Pink Warrior, for being a member for 1 month. Thank you. Thank you so much for your support. But I've always said that. I think there's premeditation in here. But in this case, remember, 911 was not called. I think that was calculated. I think that right there was premeditated. I think it was calculated. I think there's a reason Katie didn't do that. She didn't need her husband, Chris, 3 hours away. I don't care how you dice it, slice it, chop it up. I don't care. She could have went outside screaming, if y'all want to think about it, my child's gone. Can somebody call 911? How about that? Why, if this was not pre-planned, did she let Chris do all this? Even if she called him, them neighbors and stuff would have done no to call 911 from there, period. I don't believe it. I don't care what nobody says. Right, Little Red. Don't believe it. And Chris and Katie's not dumb. They're far from it. So again, on one hand, it makes you wonder, and why Katie didn't dial 911, and Chris dialed the direct number, period. So, that's the abuse of the 911 call. Sheila said, in my opinion, I only think KK and Edgar drove that poor child and carried him out into the vehicle in the garage and took him somewhere and put him in a vehicle. It's very possible. Again, why was Kathy there so early? And I want to know where Terry was. Why was Terry not there with Kathy that morning? Was he? Nobody didn't say they saw Terry and Kathy. Was there another vehicle? Another vehicle. And then you got Melissa. Don't even get me started on all this. Hi. Hello. Town chat, I'm glad you're here. Angel of Light. Oh my God, if y'all got a membership, thank Angel of Light. She just gave 10 gifted memberships. Thank you so much. That was so kind of you. Thank you very, very much. Angel of Light, thank you. Oh, wow. Thank you, ma'am. Yeah, what was the story with Mama Sock so early at Worsham's? That I'd like to know myself, because she sure wasn't selling a house. That's just my story, my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. Yeah, nobody speaks about Terry, do they? Oh, Terry. Oh, Terry. Except his co-worker, allegedly, his ex-co-worker that called in. I'm going to have to find that video again. That actually called in. That's the only person that's really called in for him and told how mean and cruel he was and how he talked about having people unalived and all this kind of stuff. He even wanted to get rid of Kathy, according to that video, at one point. So maybe she's walking the line. I don't know. Yeah, there's so many secrets going on behind the scenes, in your opinion, and in my opinion too. And I don't know what the hell is going on. But something is very strange in this game. They think it's a game. They think it's a game until they all get arrested, in my opinion. Yeah, where was Terry? Where was Terry? You gonna tell me she left a big emergency happen like that? And what, did she just leave him in the bed asleep? Don't believe it. Don't believe it. Hey, Bo. Hello. But there are so many things. They would even have to pay, if they were found that they did a hoax, Mama B wouldn't even have the restitution, not even have enough homes to sell in Tennessee or surrounding areas, in my opinion, to ever pay the financial repercussions and restitutions that whoever was involved would have to pay. Because you would be ordered to pay, even if you got prison time, you would be ordered to pay local, state, and federal. You'd be, and the FBI and all the search and rescue and other resources and anyone that helped in the search for Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. So I don't even think that church that church that don't speak about Sebastian. Yeah, just a couple of days would be thousands. We're talking. I can't even take a guess how much we're talking if this was. And then you got your fines, you got all the things. Yeah, the church that won't even speak about him, right? Because I don't even think they would come out and help, even though they poured money for status into that church, right? That's my opinion. Yeah, I think, Sheila, in my opinion, and I'm sorry about your fiance's sister, many prayers. Cancer sucks. But I think there's some kind of noise ordinance or something after a certain time, especially at hospitals. Oh, yeah, OTT, I'd say well over 1 million. That's just me. That's just me. But yeah, you would have to, they don't have enough, in my opinion, private properties, enough money tucked away or anything like that. Even the big dog, I don't think, for all these class action lawsuits that they would get, they would be in worse shape than O.J. Simpson, honey. Everybody would take everything they had forever and a day, over and over and over again. They wouldn't even be able to get a crumb of McDonald's scraped up, or Crystal's scraped up onions. I'm just saying. No, the civil lawsuits alone, and civil lawsuits. I mean, and people's done took this at least to the borders, international. I mean, future interactions with law enforcement would be not for Sebastian, but for whoever created the mess, if this would be null and void forever. It would be like the boy that cried wolf kind of thing, right? And that would be, you'd be blackballed wherever you went, probably from 911. Because this thing is so big. That's just my opinion. Costa Rica connected that church. Interesting. Because I know several people in Costa Rica. Interesting. But it would hurt. It would hurt bad. It would cripple not only your criminal record, it would hurt your entire life, your job, your housing, your loan, all aspects of your life. And yeah, not to mention the cruelty of a hoax. I would say, who could be that cruel? But they're out there. People. Yeah. No, I didn't see it today, Laura. I'll watch it. But people are out there that, does things like this. And again, I think in this case, they thought, and I don't believe this is a hoax. Lord, I hope not. If it is, like I said, it'd be a hell of a hoax. I'm only going over this for the ones that just come in because people starting to put it in lives. They're starting to say it out loud. They're starting to ask. I'm seeing it in different places and things like that. So I'm saying no, I don't think it is. But if it is, this is what can happen, because it's not going to be hid. It just like finding Sebastian, he will be found. Did your mama pay for the Airbnb, Chris? Oh, I'm sure. Exactly. And don't even get me started on that. There's a reason I haven't even talked about that. Y'all don't even want me to get started on that one. Y'all go over and watch Condiments and Crime, because I'm telling you what, she said it all last night and today. She's on TikTok, but she's on here too. And I watched her on TikTok. She had a lot to say last night. I said, amen. That's why, though, I ain't said a word on it. That's why I decided when I was in Clutch Them Pearls and he showed it, there ain't no need for me to do a live on it. Why? Why? I'm not about the money. I'm not about none of the shit. I'm not for the bullshit. There's two things. We know they lied again, and it was bullshit. The only thing I can be grateful for that show is it got his name out and face again to the nation. But like Condiments and Crime said, what, 7 and 8 year old pictures again? I ain't got nothing. I got nothing. Got nothing. And see, I feel like things like this is why people are coming forward saying, is this a hoax? Is this? You know, no. An Amber Alert for a missing child is big and it's extensive. Yes, and he will be found and justice is going to be served. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. No, you didn't, Ma Duke. I'm just trying to answer some questions people have. Some people's going around saying it's a hoax. It's not a hoax. Now I'm just going over what can happen if, not Sebastian, but what can happen if somebody tried to play this off as a hoax. They're going to be in so much trouble, I can't even explain to you. It would be so harsh for them. It would be so harsh. Because look, if it were, not only were they taking away the resources and stuff, that means they were putting so many other, not only children, but people in danger by taking resources away from them. It takes away from real emergencies. And it takes away all of the public's trust. Remember? You know? Again, do I personally feel like this is a hoax? No. N-O. But I sure have been asked a lot lately. In fact, it was wrote that it was in my live last night, and I didn't see it until it was over with. It was brought to my attention. Some in here today think it is. And that's okay. Everybody has their thoughts and opinions. I can't get mad about that. I can't. Everybody's allowed to believe and say and think what they want. That's okay. All I can say is, God, if you are, help you. Help you. See, Megan, oh yeah, the 22nd. Yep, we'll be looking at that again. Absolutely, we'll be looking at that again. Wasn't it though? The guilty want y'all to believe it's a hoax. Yeah, so it'll go quiet. Exactly. That's why they're trying to do all these distractions. And that's my opinion too. That's why they want to do all these distractions, and they want to try to put it off on everything and everybody else. Something is really weird going on in this case. That's what I think. So the reason I think people question is the no response by LE and no known evidence. And see, LE is not going to give evidence because they're holding the evidence so they can have a case. That's what I think. Hey, Three Sides 360. Hello. So they'll sit on here all day long and carry on about it. But again, I don't think it's a hoax. I'm sorry. A lot of people on here think, I mean, I haven't changed my stance at all. I think he didn't make it out of the house at night. I think there was foul play. I'm not going to shut up just because people think he's out there alive and well somewhere. That's great. I hope he is. And for Seth's sake, I hope he is too. Hey, Raymond Thomas. And I pray he is. And if I ever get a tip on that he might be, I will turn it in because everything must be looked at. I have turned tips in like that before, and I know for a fact, 1,001%, that it was looked into. I literally even think that one still needs to be gone back and looked into because of the type and circumstance it was, even though I believe there was still foul play and he was brought out of that house. And everybody knows who I think is responsible. I have not changed my mind one bit, nor am I. Nobody pays my bills. Nobody is going to pay my bills. I'm not going to sell my soul. And nobody tells me what to say and when to say it or how to say it. Everything I say comes from me and what I think, and comes from my mind and my heart and how I feel. I'm sorry. Thank you, Holly. That's right. Prayers for Sebastian. I know. Let's see. Three Sides said, I've changed my mind about 200 times. Yeah, and you will. You will. I mean, yeah, there's a mic drop for those in the back. Get that loud and clear. I don't care who you are. But Cinderella, all we got is thoughts, theories, scenarios, opinions. That's all we have. We don't really know. And again, it is getting very frustrating. I'm sorry. It is getting very frustrating that law enforcement don't come out and say something. Anything. Again, I know they got to keep the integrity of the case because there is a case. Three Sides, thank you so much. Craziest car ever. Get you a coffee. Keep us informed as you can. Thank you so much. Thank you. Craziest case ever. I mean, I was like, okay, was there somebody in there? I was like, I didn't see them. Yeah, I mean, they could at least come out and say something or do something. I just feel I feel let down, you know. And again, it's not about me. It is about Sebastian, and we got to get whoever's responsible. But all this stuff going on is crazy. It is. It's insanity. Absolutely fun to ski. I agree. I agree to that. No more unknown cars. Oh my gosh, let's see. Raymond Thomas, thank you. Thank you so much for gifting a membership. If you got that, I can't see them on here. Everybody else is smarter than me because evidently they can see them. But I'm talking about other creators. I sure as hell can't. But thank Raymond. Thank Raymond for that. And Cassie, thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. And thank you so much. I appreciate you. You know I love you dearly. Thank you very, very, very much. Holly S. said, I felt let down too, have often in this case. Yeah, because, you know, you just want to believe they would come out and say something, anything, in my opinion. I mean, there's got to be a way that they could do it without messing up the case. How could they really mess it up any worse than they did? They didn't go in there and do luminol. They didn't go in there and do all those things, you know. So, of course, it's natural to be angry about it. It's very natural. Mondu says, yes, I'm angry to the core on this, that the family that threatens everyone and gets away with it. Like, for real, what is Ellie allows this shit? Exactly. I agree with you. Like, I don't understand how they're getting away with it. I just don't. I don't understand it. And Holly, I get that sense too. I mean, you know, they say these things about Seth, but you can see it in Seth. I'm telling you, you can see that Seth, you know, it's raw, it's real to Seth. He lost his son. He don't know where his son is at. You know, it's just, it's there. With Katie, it's just this, you know, laughing and, you know, faking and, you know, I don't know. Why do they have to make fun of Seth too? You know, that's just stupid. How is that going to help anything? He could say, yeah, they could say, they don't have to name any of them. We already know they're all suspects. Absolutely. There's ways to go around it. Let's see. Smiley, why can't Seth press charges on CP for a child? You know, I don't know, to be honest. I imagine, in my opinion, he's probably going to be able to do a lot of things. But he's going to, Eva, he's going to have to probably do it civilly, get a civil suit, and I'm sure he will once this is all over with. I don't personally recommend on doing this until they find out where Sebastian is at. That's just me. And to figure out what's going on. I've talked about the CPS thing before also, and I feel like they too, themselves, the state, can come back and sign charges, but they don't. The bigger charges are going to come with law enforcement. Thank you, Holly S. The news mentions Bullhorn Betty and leaves out facts. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree. Thank you for that, Holly. Tiff, they can come back and charge. But the thing is, I don't know. I've heard it both ways. I've heard there was one that was open still, and I don't know if that was the one at the end of February. I'm not going to claim to know if it is or not because I don't know. I haven't seen the CPS reports. I don't want to see the CPS reports. I don't care. I don't think they should be out there. And I think everybody that claims to see them literally, honestly, should be in trouble. I wouldn't trust them anyway. That's just me. That's just me. Hold on. I got a text from one of my somebody or a message. Let's see. See what this says. Oh, okay. Hold on. Let me see. Hold on. Let's see. Wait a minute. Oh yeah, this is all right, I'm gonna play this for y'all. This is all right, this is Matt Theabox on TikTok. Let me thank you for that. Let me hold on, I'll turn it on. I'll turn it up where y'all can hear it. Maria, thank you. Thank you so much, Maria. You're fine. I love you too. It's fine if you're late. Okay, hold on. Let's listen.
Autistic parents, as well as provide them with support and resources that they need when it comes to navigating parenthood with an autistic child. Brad is someone who learned about Sebastian's case from his mom and became involved in this case. He's someone who now regularly attends prayer vigils for Sebastian Rogers, and he even says that he is now very close with Seth Rogers. Listen.
I just want to say I love you, Seth. Seth and I met each other through a couple of visuals, and we've stayed connected.
Now, this interview, which I had not heard prior to this morning, was really interesting because Brad shares his thoughts and opinions when it comes to...
Hold on. That's Brad. His real name is Brad, and that's the guy with Jacob Audibles. And I hear a lot of stuff going on now. They're trying to put out there a bunch of bullshit, like he just started his channel about a month before Sebastian went missing and all that. Okay. I'm just putting that out there. All right. I don't know what the deal is on that, but anyway, I think this is a good guy. I don't know, but let's listen.
Both Katie and Chris Proudfoot. This is an interview that was conducted in January of 2025.
The details I do know, and what I think is very, very credible. I think you have a situation of a step parent who maybe sees the child as a nuisance or, getting in his way of sorts. And I think it can be a very sticky situation when it's not your son, it's not your blood, it's not, your heir, to easily try to contemplate, how can I can resolve this situation. I think with a stepfather involved, there's opportunity there, just from what I know about the case, where his life and his life with the mom would be something different without that child. They don't talk to the media, they don't do anything, hey, help me find, but they do these, these terrible interviews where there's this, she looks like she's scared to death. He just looks, as confident as he can be. The mother of his child says the same things about him. And it's the same situation. It's someone who has the capabilities of doing something that he's already done. Why not, or why couldn't that behavior be repeated? I don't think Sebastian walked out of that house and walked away. I don't.
Brad also says in this interview that he feels like law enforcement dropped the ball here and that enough wasn't done earlier on, which I think is a feeling that we all agree with. He also said that Seth has not been in contact with law enforcement.
It's something that I think Seth and I are really, he's got no support from Hendersonville. They closed the case or just walked away from the case. TBI hopefully is doing their due diligence, and that's what we're doing here, which I'm so glad, we're talking about it because it's coming up on a year.
Yeah.
And we need to make sure because these cases will get pushed down and pushed away. But I truly think that more needs to be done. It's very frustrating. And I know the truth is out there, but we're going to need help to find that truth. And there's only so much Seth can do, right? Because, he's been handcuffed, so to speak, in his voice. And, law enforcement has not reached out to him. They don't work with him. He's tried to do a lot of different things to, I think they need to reevaluate this case.
So that was really upsetting to hear because we have been told recently that Seth has been in constant talk with law enforcement. But then I did a little bit more digging and found out that it wasn't until February 17th when Seth and Tony were interviewed on a YT page where they actually disclosed that they have been in talks with Sumner County Sheriff's Office more recently and that they're talking to them pretty much daily. I'm going to post a video where I recapped Seth and Tony's February 17th, 2025 interview here on my page on the 17th of February. Tony and Seth conclude the interview by saying that they have been talking with the Sumner County Sheriff's Office almost daily and that they have commended them for the hard work and diligency that they are putting towards Sebastian Rogers' case. And Tony Mathis even went as far as saying that the Sumner County Sheriff's Office has way more information than we the public know about, and he feels confident that there are going to be answers that come out sooner rather than later. I just can't help but think about how Seth was treated at the beginning of this investigation, how he was almost treated as a person of interest or a suspect by Sumner County Sheriff's Office, and I can't help but wonder why. Was it something that Katie and or Chris said about him that drew red flags to him? Seth has been very open about the fact that law enforcement kind of went through everything in his house, treated it like a crime scene, despite him being on camera at work, being punched in at work, being in the building at work the entire night that Sebastian Rogers went missing. So let me know what you guys are thinking in the comments.
All right, so this what Jacob's Audible. Jacob's Audible is one of Seth's friends. He has a that link. We can put that in the description, y'all. Jacob's Audibles. And anyway, he was at the vigil as well. And I seen something he did last night. And he dedicated a whole, I don't know if it was a whole street or something to Sebastian. But they're really ragging him in the streets right now. And I just think it's wrong. I think it's wrong. It's really wrong. This guy has an autistic son as well. And it's just sad how they go after everybody. Anybody and everybody who wants to help. Everybody. Like Debbie just said a while ago, they're slandering this guy in the streets right now. It's sad. All anybody wants to do is try to get Sebastian's name and face out there and try to help him and try to do the right thing. That's all. And for some reason, there's people out there that don't want that to happen. Why? I have no idea. Are they being paid, whether they be creators by somebody or mods or what? I don't know. Are they being paid to be these actors and actresses and to stop the truth? I don't know. And is that on both the good and bad side? I don't know. But what I do know is this. I don't feel that this is a hoax, but this shit is enough for a conspiracy, in my opinion. And it needs to be stopped. You're right, Ma Duke. They are definitely overgrown bullies. That's a fact. That is a FACT fact. On the last day of court, has anybody seen those videos? Nope. But I have heard some things about those too. It's just unreal. Unreal. Awful unreal how people either flip sides or just shut the hell up. Even ones I don't approve of that's flip sides, I've actually heard was threatened. What was absolutely threatened. I don't know. I don't know what to think. I don't know. But it needs to stop. And just remember that's why I keep his picture up here if I can, that Sebastian is the one missing. Sheila, I do too. I absolutely do. And I know they can hold them for a certain amount of time, even if they have attorneys. I don't know where people's got it in their head just because if they have an attorney, they can't. Oh, yes, they can. Oh, yes, they can. Now, I'm not wrong about that. I know exactly what I'm talking about. Yes, they can. They don't have to talk. They don't have to talk. But they can bring them in. But I don't know. Something's very strange. Do I think it's a hoax? No, but something else is going on here. Why the deflection? That's what needs to be stopped. That's the kind of stuff that needs to be stopped. All parties. In the bushes, there's a lot we can change. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, and he's local. Justin on TikTok. Absolutely. If somebody thinks they're going to corner me in Tennessee, I'm just going to tell y'all now. If somebody thinks they're going to corner me when I'm in Tennessee or threaten me, thank you, three sides. Let's see what you say. Stop thinking and then start trying to figure out you're crazy out. Just concentrate on Sebastian, his safety, most important. Where Sebastian is, let the drama go. Let's find Sebastian. Exactly. But if somebody tries to shut me up in Tennessee, I'm telling you right now, I'm not going to sell my soul. We are going to be on the local news, and y'all are going to find somebody picking us up on these YouTube streets because Smiley ain't going for it. Smiley ain't shutting down, and Smiley ain't shutting up, and Smiley ain't going for it. Period. I know. I believe that. I believe with all my heart, even regardless of what Seth says, I believe he threatened him that day up there at the school, when they had the vigil at the beach high school, and he was all up in his face, and then went on to the motorcycle thing with Katie. Now, nobody ain't gonna make me believe no different. That's just me. The truth will come out. Sebastian will be found. But you're right, three sides. Stop thinking and start trying to figure out about Sebastian. And his safety is the most important. And where is Sebastian? Let the drama go. Let the drama go. find Sebastian. I had to read that again. I didn't mean to take it down. Absolutely. Let the drama go and find Sebastian. All right, go check the Facebook before I go. Okay, hold on a minute. Hold on. Okay, please remind everyone that Chris posted this. The day, all right, so Chris posted this the day he went to Bullhorn Betty's court date after he blew up yelling. All right, hold on a minute. Let's see. Oh, yeah. All right, let's listen to this. Okay, Chris, yeah, I saw this as well. Let's remind everybody. Hold on about this. We're going to play this in just a minute. I had to back it up. You're absolutely right. Thank you for that, Cassie. Let's play this on the way out. Now, remember, on my interview with Chris is when the belt incident come out and all that. Seth didn't know any of that stuff until that was very hurtful. That tore me up that I found out that he had to find out through my interview, which, because I'm so tenderhearted, that just tore me up that a lot of things he didn't know till my interview. But anyway, Cassie's right. So what she wants to tell y'all is, remember the night he threw a fit, cussed BJ out, talked about Tony's private parts, did all those things. Then the next day they were going to talked about Seth's private part, did all these gross things. Then the day he's going to court with Bullhorn Betty, he posts this on his Facebook. Chris did. So let's play this. Hold on.
Mods? What? I don't know.
Come on.
Are they being
Hold on, let me get
to
off.
be these
Get off of there. Okay, hold on. All right, hold on. All right. Here we go.
Scream. Then you probably call you mean. You're supposed to raise your kids, but they raise you. You put your kids on a leash and wonder why. They turn 16 and want everyone else to die. It's because they thought that they were dogs. Then they learned this thing called laws, and 16 is way too old to pout and cry. Now my mama and my pa ain't play that shit. Got beat with a belt, a broom, a spoon, sometimes a switch. Spare the rod, spoil the child. Why your kids be running wild, popping pills and snorting powder just for kicks?
We're going to listen to that again. We're going to listen to this again.
If you spank your kids with a belt, that's called abuse.
That's why your kids try to kill you when there's no juice. You let them bite and kick and scream. Then you cry when they call you mean. You're supposed to raise your kids, but they raise you. You put your kids on a leash and wonder why. They turn 16 and want everyone else to die. It's because they thought that they were dogs. Then they learned this thing called laws, and 16 is way too old to pout and cry. Now my mama and my pa ain't play that shit. Got beat with a belt, a broom, a spoon, sometimes a switch. Spare the rod, spoil the child. Why your kids be running wild, popping pills and snorting powder just for kicks?
Yeah. Yeah. So absolutely. Thank you for that, Cassie, because that was worth listening to again. So yeah, up next is Faith. I hope not. I hope he don't ever get his hands on her. Hope not. In my opinion, we'll see, where do we go? In my opinion, I hope Edgar goes in the wrong little bar. Oh, boys just had a good old time and realized who he is, and he might have a little visit from outside, in my opinion. You never know. You never know. But yeah, that's just wild. So yeah, and I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know what to think. I don't know what to think anymore. Yeah, exactly. So that was the day he went to court about the Bullhorn Betty thing. So just saying. but I appreciate you all being here. Thank you for coming in. And let's see. Damn, Smiley, my first live. Come on, you just played that with no context. Okay. So I had basically the thing is, I had an interview with him, y'all, about almost a year now, him and Katie. And that's where it come out. I'm sure you've heard it. That's where it come out. He hit Sebastian with the belt. Then all the CPS reports come out and all that. I thought I did explain it, though. The night before, he went on another channel. Chris went on another channel. Okay. He went on another channel, though, and he had a rant and rage. That's the context. He went on a rant and rage. Because if you're leaving, I'm not going to explain it because my people heard me well. He went on a rant and a rage. And then, that's probably him anyway. And then he had to go because he says he's so scared of Bullhorn Betty, him and his family, that they had to get all these, protection orders out on Bullhorn Betty, that they go to court the next day. But this is what he's worried about putting up on his, this is what he's putting out on his thing, on his Facebook, the day that he goes to court. So that's pretty much the context of it. Cassie didn't want me to leave without reminding pretty much how he's making fun of, because he always makes fun of Sebastian, mocks. He thinks it's funny that Sebastian, maybe if you go back and watch the interview that I did with Chris, that will explain everything. With him being a bully, mentally, physically abusing him. And I just let him sit there and talk for over 3 hours. And I let him get it all out. I didn't interrupt him like other interviewers would. I just let him tell his story. And that's fine. You're being respectful. I'm not saying anything. Just let him or her be. It's fine. I don't know what else to tell you about that, though. He mocks Sebastian, who is his stepchild that went missing out of his house, and don't look for his stepchild until these recent last couple of months to look good, in my opinion, and half the world's opinion. But he's got time to be online doing all of these things. I'm just saying. You wanted some context with it. I guess that's what everybody's talking about. So I'm giving you the context. That's your opinion. You wanted context. I gave you context. Thank you, Sheila. But that's all I know to tell you. That's all. Yeah, he shouldn't have never hit him with a belt anyway. But that's just that. But it doesn't matter. Sebastian's gone. Whatever happened to him, he can't hit him with the belt now. Who can he hit with the belt now? I don't know. Where's Sebastian? What was done to him or with him? I don't know. But one day the truth is going to come out. That's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. Where did he post it? He posted it on Facebook. He posted it on his Facebook page under Chris Proudfoot. That's where he posted it. It shows him in a red or maroon t-shirt, holding a little baby, which was his little girl. He should have, did that wife right and wrong. That was his fourth wife. Katie is his fifth wife. He had a child with her. So, yeah. Can I comment on what? I missed it. What do you want me to comment on? And Seth shouldn't have hit him upside. I don't know 3 sides to 360 about that. But here's the thing, 3 sides. There's a video out there where Katie was walking into the bowling alley. I'm going to comment on this, and then I'm going to go since you like trolling me. I am commenting on it. Here's the thing. There's a video out there, and when it drops like a hot freaking potato, just like that one at Texas Roadhouse did, okay? And it shows them going in, and Katie didn't think that camera, but got her hitting Sebastian in the back of the head, then maybe you can come back and question me on that. Because first of all, I'm going to be like Chris Proudfoot the night I had the interview. I wasn't there for the record when Katie hit Seth. Oh, I wasn't either. So I don't fucking know. I couldn't tell you if it was true. You said ask Sebastian's teachers. There's a lot that Sebastian's teachers has said. But I'm not going to bring it out here right now because that's not my show. Like I said, y'all can continue to carry on 3 sides about about Seth and the father and all that stuff. When the same thing is, said about, or worse about. Let me ask you a question. Do you care to comment on 3 sides? Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question, 3 sides? Sure. Okay. Well, was it okay? I will make this a 1 question. So it was okay for under Katie and Chris's roof for Sebastian to be abused and raped, whether it by an older child or not. That was okay? That's okay? I think that's a little bit more than asking me. I think that's a little bit more important than asking me, is it okay if Seth hits him in the back of the head? Especially when there's video out there that Katie hit him in the back of the head. So I'm not playing this game. Again, this is not a game. This is about a missing 15-year-old boy. If you have a question that you need to find out like that about Seth hitting his son that I know nothing about, the best person to ask that would be Seth Rogers. Not Joe Blow, not Katie, not Chris. I'm not deflecting anything. I'm talking like an adult. Why are you asking me something I don't know anything about? It probably is CP. It probably is CP. Anything else? Because I have things to do. Yeah, where's your truck? And if you are Chris, just come back in here in your regular name next time that I'm on, because I've done said I have some very hard questions for you this time, because this time I'm prepared. I'm prepared this time. And I'll treat you respectful, Chris. You know. So that's your number? What's your number? Hold on, I didn't get your number. That's your number? If it's CP, he should be a man and come up. Life 360. What do you mean? Oh, well, remember he was talking about the 360s, that everybody's got 360 on their phone and all that. I'm pretty sure it's Chris. Chris, I have no hard feelings towards you. Okay? If you want to come up and you want to speak and you want to come under Chris, if you want to come under 360 or you want to come under Big Bad Chris, how about that? Oh, solve it. Okay. This is your number, 360 470. Solve it. I'm not good at math. I never claimed to be. You don't believe that? Call my son. I've never claimed to be, so we ain't playing no games. How about you take my email, smileystory at give them my email. What is my email? Smileystory, the number 2u at yahoo.com. I'll talk to you on the phone all day long, Chris, or whoever you are. How about that? I'm not playing games. Yeah, we don't play games over here. You suck at math too? Well, you do, because that's not enough numbers. 1, maybe that's a 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look, anyway, that don't even make sense to me, those numbers. Why don't you just make it crystal clear, like Miss Grace said? Are you scared to come up here, Chris? Because are you scared that your buddies will see you come up on my panel again? You scared your buddies will see you come up here again and say, why'd you go on Smiley's channel? You scared Tara Lynn will try to knock you off the damn channel again about 100 times? See, what you don't realize is I'm not scared of any of you. I mean, what is it that you really want? 360. And Chris, You can't do an interview with me today. I don't have my orange on. I noticed orange is your favorite color. I can't do. Justin, maybe you should wear orange tonight. Maybe he'll come up there with you. See, my hair's not even brushed. Maybe I just got out of bed. So anyway, I don't know what that number is. If somebody figures it out, tell me, okay? So anyway, I must have got on a nerve playing that on his Facebook. Thank you for that, Cassie. That must have triggered him. Let's play that again out. Hold on a minute. So let's listen to this again. Let's listen to this one more time. Hold on. Where did this go? Let's see. I don't know if I can. Hold on. Oh, I got to get to the right place. Hold on. Who sent me that? Nope, I think it was in my email. No. Oh, I know where it's at. It's on his shit. Hold on a minute. I can find it myself. Here we go.
That's why your kids try to.
Hold on. Uh-oh. Oh, maybe that's why he's saying I took it out of context too, because I didn't get the full.
If you spank your kids with a belt, that's called. If you spank your kids with a belt, that's called abuse.
That's why your kids try to kill you when there's no juice. You let them bite and kick and scream. Then you cry when they call you mean. You're supposed to raise your kids, but they raise you. You put your kids on a leash and wonder why. They turn 16 and want everyone else to die. It's because they thought that they were dogs. Then they learned this thing called laws, and 16 is way too old to pout and cry. Now my mama and my pa ain't play that shit. Got beat with a belt, a broom, a spoon, sometimes a switch. Span a rod, spoil a child. Why your kids be running wild, popping pills and snorting powder just for kicks?
See? So anyway. I don't know. But anyway, I am gone. I am gone like Donkey Kong. I got things to do. My hubby just came in, and I have things to do. Okay, I have lots of things to do. And if you don't mind, please hit the thumbs up button. I would appreciate it. And also, what is this? Let's see. Oh, interesting. Okay. Okay, thank you. Thank you for that. Send it to myself. Thank you for that. Absolutely. So anyway, Vic said, I hope you drop the soap every day. Anyway, so thank you. And listen, if y'all have any information on missing Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, please call it in. 1-800-TBI-FIND 451 Gail, huh? 615-451-3838. Or you can call the FBI, or you can call 1-833-TELL-DOG. Whoever knows anything about this case needs to turn it in. And my email is smileystory, 2, the letter U, at yahoo.com. Smileystory, 2U, at yahoo.com. If y'all can drop that in the thing, somebody wants it, I really appreciate it. There it is. There it is. Thank you. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for contributing. Thank you for any donations you gave or any gifts that you gave. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Happy May 1st. Happy May 1st. Happy Thursday. And I will see y'all later. Y'all have a good night. Bye.